All right, boys, treadmill talks. We're going to have a fun one today. We're going to go with red flags, but we're going to do there's going to be lots of videos on these ones because you can kind of go really in depth on each red flag and what they mean, how to avoid them and stuff. Giving the general list of 20 red flags, it's too broad. Today, we're going to go over my biggest red flag. The single thing that has destroyed, I think actually every single long-term relationship I've had, this one thing has destroyed it. And what is it? The inability to firewall outside opinions. Let me explain. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video with your bros, get this information out there. We're here to help everybody and get to the light at the end of that tunnel. The ability to firewall. Now, what this basically means in a broad scope, globally, for men and women, is the ability to trust yourself over trusting what other people are telling you. Now, not just females though, but a lot of people have this problem in general. The reason how this relates and why it's a red flag, and to be fair, I don't know how to fix this when it comes to partners and stuff, but because I never really had that issue before. I always trust myself before the opinions of others. And being a PC tech YouTuber influencer, I see a lot of men just defer their opinions to me. They just do what I tell them to do. It's not good, man. It's not good. Everyone should have kind of self-awareness and belief in themselves to trust themselves first, right? How this relates to women. When you're dating a woman, it's almost like you're on a permanent, okay, in this video, this is gonna be my personal experience and why this is such a red flag for me, okay? It might not be a red flag for you. Some people thrive in this department, but for me, it really bothers me, right? And now this now, as I date now, this is the number one thing that I look for in a woman now. The number one thing. I don't care about tattoos. Dude, I don't even care about violence. It's just, does she trust herself? Or, at the very least, is she self-aware enough to trust? Or is she self-aware enough to identify and know who has her best interest at heart? So how this manifests in a relationship. You're dating a girl for a while, and let's say it feels like you're always walking on eggshells around her friends and family and stuff, right? So the best example of this is, you know how chicks will kind of get together in a group, and there's usually they call them pecking hens or whatever, and there's usually one queen hen that guides the other ones, right? And so if the queen hen of the friend circle goes out to the club and she's single, everybody does. If the queen hen gets into a relationship, they all seem to. The queen hen gets a baby, gets pregnant, or gets married, they all seem to, right? And you see that literally everywhere. And it's fascinating because you're like, are these chicks bots? Do they have any why do they just follow whatever the queen hen does, right? And there's a lot of reasons why they're like that. They don't want to lose their friend circle, mainly. So they kind of know if the queen hen who organizes everything, if she has a boyfriend and you don't, you're going to stop getting invited to the board game nights and shit now, right? It's a nightmare, dude. It's a nightmare. That's kind of How you know if your relationship's about to end is if your wife or your girl starts hanging out with one of her single friends. It's like, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So then what happens is the more that your spouse hangs out with that single friend, humans tend to do this in general. This isn't a female thing. I'm sure you have like buddies that are into crypto or trading stocks or something. They'll always try to convince you that that their path is the correct one. Everybody does that. That's not like a female thing. So he'll be like, buy this coin, bro, it's gonna moon. Oh, I bought this stock because it's gonna moon. What that is exactly is the person giving you that information is actually unsure that they're correct. And their brain is trying to reinforce their reality by convincing everyone around them that that is the correct path. That's what that is. So if your girl is hanging out with one of her single friends, over time, the single friend is gonna poison the girl that you're with to be like, oh, single life is the best. You don't need no man. She wants her clubbing buddy back. She wants her single gal pal back, right? Now, dude, and the reason why I don't have an answer for that is because if I literally encountered this I knew about this like 10 years back, and I've been like trying to combat the problem and I haven't figured out how, right? It's nuts, dude. So it's like my ex, it's fast. Let me give you an example. My ex, she has this friend that lives across the country, so it was never really an issue. But once in a while she would come to visit, right? And once in a while I would hang out with her and her husband. And the four of us would hang out, and I'd be like, that relationship's not gonna last. I already kind of knew. In 5 seconds, I'll know what kind of the character of the woman is, right? She's a very aggressive. She treated her man like a little bitch. She whipped him. So then, what do you think happened? They got divorced, and that chick moved back to BC, Vancouver here. Dude, I'm not even making this up. I'm like, fuck. Like I knew it, dude. I knew it. And then because the girl that I was with at the time, my ex, she was not the queen bee type. She was an absorber empath type, right? So I was like, the second, and then in the middle of all this, I'm trying to build my other YouTube channel. So I didn't have the time and energy to firewall my ex away from the toxic friend, right? Man, it's such a full-time job to filter your girl's friend circles. It's oh my God, dude. Anyway, it's exactly what happened. The miserable single boss babe bitch had poison dripped my girl into thinking that being single was better. Every time, dude. Every single girl I've been with. That the friends can do it, the in-laws do it too. So it's like, another ex of mine, her parents, actually her mom specifically, she has 2 daughters, her and her sister, and the mom has like severe psychological issues. So the mom would always try to make the daughters compare against each other and make them it's a very combative household. So I enter the picture and I'm like, do you not see what your mom is doing here? She's toxic as hell. Like she's literally the one person holding you back from all your dreams and hopes, right? Like it doesn't matter that she's your mom or your blood. A toxic person is a toxic person, right? So anyway, How do you think that went over, right? The reason why that doesn't work is because in that kind of household, the mom is the queen hen, the pecking hen, right? So the daughters had survived up until that point, age 27 or whatever. They had survived up until that point by listening to the queen hen. So the brain is like, well, I survived for 27 years listening to my mom, and now this guy that I've known for a year or two, he's telling me that's toxic. So the brain will default it to, he must be wrong, when you could be 100% correct. It's so toxic, dude. It's like self-awareness, the ability to detect toxicity, and the ability to know, again, who has your best interest at heart. The reason why I fell for that girl in the first place, this was my mistake. I mistook, so I would tell her to try something, and then she would just do it, and then she would have very good results, right? Health, fitness, money, anything, like dreams, hopes, all that kind of stuff. Whenever the girl listened to me, she would have extreme success. Whenever she listened to her mother, she would get not the opposite, right? So the reason why I fell for her, because I was like, okay, well, this girl is self-aware enough to actually test things for herself and come to her own conclusions, and she doesn't trust anybody's word at the word, right? What I didn't realize was she wasn't actually testing it. She was just doing what I said. But even then, near the end, I kept bringing this point up to her. I'm like, can you actually write down on a piece of paper all the things that I've told you to do where you've had success? And write down all the things that your mom has told you to do and where you've just been met with extreme failure and depression. Like, write that shit down. Write it down. You can't fight that battle. It's an emotional feeling, not a logical one. She feels like her mom has her best interest at heart and not a guy that she's known for 2 years. It's a feeling, so you can never win that battle. So it's such a red flag, dude. It's all I look for now. So going forward, all I look for in a woman right now, and you know what the easiest one is the COVID vaccine. As crappy as that is to even mention or get into in this channel, the amount of self-awareness and resistance to peer pressure it actually took to not get vaccinated, amongst everybody telling you that you're basically a terrorist and all that, that takes that kind of level that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a girl like that. A girl that can be like, she can look at the entire planet, and the entire planet literally can be like, hey, what you're doing is wrong. I want you to do this. Like global pressure. And she stands there and she's like, I don't care. I'm gonna do what I wanna do. That's the kind of girl I'm looking for. Now, I'm sure that comes with pros and cons. So here's the thing. The first type of girl, the one that's very impressionable, I'm sure it would have been fine if I had more time to firewall, right? Like, but who has time for that shit? Who's gonna sit there and like micromanage all of their friends all the damn time? Micromanage, make sure the parents like you all the time. It's exhausting, dude. It's super exhausting. So I would always, like, let's say I'm at a family dinner and the girl I'm dating, her brother says something very rude to her. I'm not afraid of conflict, right? I'll call him out on it at like the dinner table. I'll be like, hey bro, you shouldn't say that to my girl kind of thing, right? Even though it is his sister. But like the in-laws perceive that as like, stay out of it, it's not your business type of thing. Even though it's my girlfriend, it's yes. So So basically, the point I'm getting to, every single relationship that I've had that's ended has been because somebody on the other end slowly poison dripped the girl. Whether it be, and you know what else is this is kind of an odd one, but when you're actually making your girl super happy, this is kind of the scenario that happened with this last girl in this last year here. I've told you guys that story before, where she, you know, to her credit, she did a very good job firewalling for like about a year and a half. Like, she really did. I was blown away that she lasted that long. So, for some reason, a girl's friends group, if the girl is, yeah, it's fascinating. A girl's friends group, sometimes you'll encounter this too, where the girl's friends group almost don't want to see her happy, or they don't want to see her doing better than them. It's like a comparison thing. What I mean by that, you know how they say, you always want your neighbor to do well, but never better than you? That's such a real thing, dude, even when it comes to like women's social circles. So like, I start dating a girl, not dating, let's just say seeing, like I'm not seeing their friends. And then now all of a sudden, the girl is going on trips, nice dinners, she's very happy, she's well taken care of, she's having a lot of fun, no drama. And that energy, I mean, if you're a successful guy, that energy, it bothers other people too, right? It's kind of the same thing where if you're a super fat guy and you start losing weight and getting ripped and jacked, your whole friend circle is like, we liked you better before, bro. They don't want you to change at all. They want you to stay in your lane as the fat guy. Because if you change and level up, that means it draws their insecurities out, right? Same kind of thing with women when they start dating a really like high value man. So the friends will be like, well, damn, that girl, like our friend, landed a guy like him. I don't like that. He's not like, he's better than my man. And it makes them fucking twisted, dude. It's like the craziest shit. It's the craziest shit. So then it's like, they'll be like, they'll slowly poison her against you. So here's the example. I'm like, I don't want to meet your friends because I really just want to focus on my business right now, right? Let's just say that's the example. And then when she goes and hangs out with her friends and they see how happy she is, they'll be like, instead of them being like, oh, your man wants to work on his business and build a better future for you guys, that sounds awesome. Are you happy? They never ask them if they're happy, do they? That question never comes up. No, it's always like, oh, he doesn't want to come hang out with us. Is he hiding something? Is he playing? It's always this bombardment of negativity, dude, all the time. And then, yeah, to that girl's credit, she's like, he makes me happy, I'm good. For about a year and a half. And then I'm not even making this up. I was telling that girl that was gonna happen for like a year. I'm like, you know you're gonna lose that battle eventually. Eventually, your friends are gonna convince you that I'm not good for you because I don't wanna hang out with them or I don't wanna meet them. And then it took about a year and a half. But yeah, they won. To a degree. There was other stuff that was going on, but like that girl was probably the best one that I've dated so far. She lasted a year of being able to firewall her parents and firewall her friends because she was self-aware enough to know that I made her that happy. There were like physiological reasons too. Like when a girl gets super stressed out, this is just random aside. When a girl gets super stressed out, she like breaks out and loses her hair and shit. Like crazy, like physiological like problems, right? And then let's say if she starts dating a guy that genuinely just makes her happy and not stressed out, like her body heals itself. And she just like, all of her, like the chemicals in her body like rebalance and everything just sorts itself out. And I think people can pick up on that, right? So I think she picked up on that too. That's why she's like, well, when I'm with him, everything is better and everything escalates in positivity. But you guys have a problem with that. Anyway, hopefully you guys understand what I'm kind of talking about here. That's the I guess you could say that's the biggest green flag. The biggest red flag being that the human or the girl defers her judgment to other people first. The green flag being the girl is self-aware enough to know what's best for her and not defer her survival judgment to others. That's such a key thing, dude. And I don't have a solution. I'm just sharing my thoughts on this one. So when I go and I date women now, I pay very, very close attention to that one fact. Does she do whatever her mom tells her to do? Is she the queen pecker in her social group? Is she you kind of get their history a little bit. Like, does she go to the club every time her girlfriends are single? Does she play board games every time she's in a relationship, depending on what her friend circle is doing? Or does she change friend circle every time she levels up because she doesn't care about maintaining toxic friendships, right? It's fascinating stuff, dude. It really is. But I can elaborate more on that in another episode. We're already approaching almost 30 minutes here. That's the red flag. The ability to firewall outside perspectives and outside, it's almost like Inception. Like, you know how you've seen the movie Inception? How they implant an idea in the girl's head? Now all humans are susceptible to this, but if she can at least firewall most of it, that's good enough. But I haven't really met a girl that had the ability to firewall everything. Like not listen to anybody. So that's the green flag. Does she have the ability to firewall injected ideas into her head? That's what it is. And nobody talks about that kind of stuff. But that will kill every single one of your relationships if everybody else is injecting ideas into her head. Actually, before I close this video off, it does work in the reverse too. But that approach is too much effort. I've tested that and it does work. So actually, let me give you a potential solution. You can just be on your best behavior and do whatever the hell the friends and family want. Which that's not me, but that is like, I know a couple of my buddies do that, where the girl's family wants to have a family dinner and they just like put on their suit and tie and then they just go be like a beta, like a little bitch and just do whatever the family's like, hey, my computer's broken, hey, my toilet is leaking, hey, my roof needs fixing, and the guy will just do it all, dude. He'll do everything to make her happy. He's not actually making her happy. What he's actually doing is he's making all the poison drippers around her happy. Therefore, they inject the idea into her head that you're a good man. So no one cares about what you want. No one cares about if you're happy or not. All they care about is that you do whatever they want. It's almost like a subconscious power play. You as a man, if you want to date this girl, you need to do whatever we want and make us all happy so that we can inject the idea into her head that you're a good man. Therefore, she will think you're a good man. And 10 years later, if my toilet is leaking and you don't fix it, I will inject the idea in the reverse, and now we're gonna cause problems. So you can do that if you want to. That ain't me. But I know a lot of guys will live their entire lives doing what the in-laws and the friends want to make sure that that injected idea is stayed in that girl's head. I would rather just have not a bot as a girlfriend, someone who has self-autonomy, and someone who isn't just basically a monkey. I don't know how else to say it. I don't want to date a girl that's just being programmed by ideas from everyone around her. It feels like I'm dating like an AI. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want that. But anyway, that's more of a preference thing, pros and cons. But that's just my number one red flag. Hopefully this video helped somebody, give you some insight into the experiences that I've had. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching.